French brand Elipson, better known for their speakers, have released a new reference series of amplifiers. The reference series P1 preamplifier retails for £1,899 and the matching A2700 power amplifier will set you back £2,999. The P1 preamp is a fully balanced design with physical separation between the channels. The bespoke power supply is extremely high switching and supplies a pure sinusoidal signal to the AC to DC converter, which is heavily regulated, before feeding the analog sections of the P1. There's an option for an ESS Sabre DAC, which adds USB, coaxial and optical digital connections at £699, or a moving magnet and moving coil phono stage for £499. You can purchase a fully loaded version with both modules fitted as standard for £2,799, saving you £300. The A2700 power amplifier deploys what Elipson considers to be state-of-the-art Class D technology, the details of which they're keeping under wraps for the time being. It's capable of delivering a whopping 400 watts per channel into 8 ohms and is claimed to be able to drive the toughest speakers on the planet. I know the UK PR agent who looks after Elipson in the UK. He's a really good guy who's been around in the industry for ages. Not the type of person who'd get excited about any old product, but he's certainly enthusiastic about these new amplifiers from Elipson. Mission are following up the launch of the retro 770 speaker with a smaller 700 model. The cabinet proportions, white front baffle and Mission 700 logo are all homage to the original, which was launched in 1980. Although the new speaker is twice the weight of the British classic at 12.8 kilograms or 28 pounds. The original 700 was one of the first speakers in the world to feature inverted driver geometry, with the tweeter positioned below the mid-bass driver. Placing the mid-bass driver closer to ear level lengthened the path the sound waves had to travel emanating from the tweeter. It was designed to achieve better time alignment between the two drivers, improve stereo imaging and transparency. The new 700 mid-bass cone is 165mm 6.5 inch polypropylene, loaded with minerals to stiffen the diaphragm. Like the 770, the driver is built into a die-cast chassis. The cabinet features a front-firing flared port to extend the in-room response down to 38 Hz. The 28mm microfiber dome tweeter has a damped rear chamber to push the fundamental resonances below the crossover region. The cabinet is a sandwich construction comprising MDF and particle board, bonded by a layer of high damping adhesive. Internal bracing adds strength to the front baffle and braces the drive units to the cabinet. Mission has designed a pair of optional open frame stands made from carbon steel with damping material in the 4 uprights. They'll set you back what appears to be a very reasonable £299. The speakers themselves are available in a black or real walnut finish for £1,299 or can be bought with the stands for £1,499. What strikes me about the 700 in comparison to the 770 is the difference in price. As I just mentioned, the 700 is £1,299, whereas its big brother, well, that's over £3,000. That's a big difference for two speakers in the same range. You'd expect similar, if not identical, components wherever possible: the tweeter, the crossover components, the cabinet construction, etc. So I can't quite get my head around that, even though there might be a valid reason. Both of these stand mounts are fairly large speakers, and because of all the building work going on here, even though the heavy stuff's been done, there's a lot of stuff still being stored. I can't get away with big boxes arriving at the moment. But once that's done, I wouldn't mind checking either of these two out. In the market for a top-notch subwoofer, REL's got you covered. Its new number 32 subwoofer replaces the number 25. The flagship model deploys 1000 watts of amplification, driving a 15-inch 380mm pure carbon fiber driver. The driver is capable of 4 inches, 100mm of travel, fore and aft. The number 32's curved cabinets are reported to take 3 weeks to construct and complete. It's a sealed box design that'll extend down to 15 Hz at the -6 dB point, and this beast weighs 102 kilograms or 225 pounds. The cost is £10,000, so why not go crazy and get 6 of them, stacked in line arrays, 3 per channel. Let's face it, budget and room conditions will preclude most of us from even getting one number 32. Not to worry, REL's got a junior sibling. The number 31 model replaces the outgoing G1 Mark II in REL's reference series of subwoofers. It utilises the same 1000 watt Class D amp as its big brother, but it's limited to 900 watts here to avoid overtaxing the driver. This time the carbon fibre driver shrinks to 12 inches, 300 millimeters. The cabinet is of identical construction to the number 32, but it's appropriately scaled down, weighing only 52 kilos or 115 pounds. Heck, I'll carry one of those under each arm. You'll have to give up some output capability as well as frequency extension, creeping up from 15 Hz to 17 Hz at the -6 dB point. The number 31 retails for £7,000. Both subwoofers are available in gloss white as well as gloss black. These two are beasts, but I've owned my own REL subwoofer for over 20 years, the Strata 3, and it's still going strong. It was outperformed slightly by the new REL T7X that I reviewed recently, and that's not surprising, things move on in 20 years. What was surprising to me at least was that the new subwoofer is half the size of my old REL, yet it maintains a similar amount of output, extension, and an even slightly cleaner response. That's primarily down to improvements in driver technology, the ability to have greater excursion whilst getting a clean output. Now, I'm a big advocate of people having subwoofers in their system. 2 is great. If you can't get away with that, 1. The tricky thing is to integrate them into your system. That's where the real art lies. I have done a video on that, so you might want to check that out. Luxman has released the first of his Z series of amplifiers, the L-507Z. It incorporates a newly developed amplifier feedback circuit they term LIFES, Luxman's integrated feedback engine system. The design develops concepts introduced in the outgoing ODNF circuit that's been part of Luxman amplifiers since 1999. None of the audio signal is fed back to the input signal of the main amplifier in an attempt to achieve a more natural sound quality. This has been done whilst reducing distortion in the amplification stage to less than half of that of the previous system, according to Luxman. The Japanese brand's trademark heavy-duty aluminium chassis and analog VU meters remain, but the 7-segment LED display indicating volume level is new. Attenuation is achieved by a new 88-step electronically controlled circuit. It claims to offer better clarity and linearity over the full volume range. The 25.4 kilogram 56 pound amplifier is rated at 110 watts per channel into 8 ohms and 210 watts per channel into 4 ohms, retailing for £8,000 in the UK. It should be in Luxman's retail outlets now. The holy grail for many high-end amplifier designers is to find a way of getting more power into an amplifier whilst driving down distortion and maintaining or improving linearity. Now, for the intents and purposes of our discussion, let's simplify that, perhaps oversimplify that, and just call that a flat frequency response. And they do this whilst trying to use as little negative feedback as possible, ideally no negative feedback. So what's the problem with negative feedback? Well, it's used in Class D amplifiers, and a lot of those Chinese amplifiers that you see from the likes of SMSL and Topping use a lot of negative feedback because it gives very good measured performance. It drives down distortion, improves linearity. The problem is that many designers and audiophiles who have been around for a while believe that it also introduces very subtle timing changes that our ears are very sensitive to, and that kills natural sound quality, that fine timbral information, as well as sound staging and imaging ability. Now, wherever you fall on that camp is entirely up to you, but it's interesting to see that Luxman have basically revised the platform that they've had for over 20 years, and what they've done, or they claim that they've done, is reduce the amount of feedback whilst improving linearity and driving down distortion. Lumin have replaced their acclaimed T2 streamer with the new T3 model. Completely revised hardware and software provide a new foundation for Lumin in 2022 and beyond. The increased processing power and storage capacity promising greater flexibility for resampling and future-proofing. Retained from the outgoing T2 is the dual ES9028 Pro Sabre DACs featuring dual mono operation, Lumin's lossless digital volume control that's supposed to eliminate rounding errors and preserve the exact amplitude of the digital signal also carries over from the T2. The thick CNC chassis that provides rigidity and shielding comes with a new surface finish as found on the P1 model further up the range. Apparently it's more forgiving of finger marks and easier to clean. The analog output stage borrows technology incorporated in their flagship X1 model that retails for £11,500, including the analog buffer and dual mono circuitry throughout. That should explain the reduction in noise and higher dynamic range that Lumin are claiming. The T3 is available in a natural or anodized black finish for £4,195. Nice to see lots of trickle down tech there. Please let me know what you think about the products that I've shared. Also, if there's products that you think that I've missed or you'd like me to consider for review, let me know about those as well. All that remains for me to say is if you like this video, you like what I'm doing with this channel, you want to see it grow and you haven't done so already, please do all that social media stuff. Check me out on Patreon for consultancy services, bonus content, join the ABA club where we have video calls and get to chat face to face periodically. But for today, for now, a British audiophile signing off.